Gentlemen, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how much attention men give to a woman's breasts with their eyes? But when it comes to actual touch, it often ends up rushed, clumsy, or over in barely a minute before moving on to something else entirely. That's a massive missed opportunity. Because here's the truth. A woman's breasts aren't just visual. They're deeply sensitive, emotionally meaningful, and for many women, when touched with real skill, genuine patience, and care, they can be a direct pathway to intense pleasure. And yes, sometimes even orgasm. So today, I'm going to walk you through 9 evidence-based, respectful, and deeply effective ways to touch her breasts, so you not only drive her wild, but build intimacy and genuine trust in the process. But before we get into it, if you're new here, I'm Dr. Daniel Morgan, a urologist and men's health expert with over 12 years of clinical experience helping men improve intimacy, vitality, and confidence. If you care about your health and your relationships, hit that subscribe button right now, give this video a quick like, and drop a comment below telling me where you're watching from today. I always love seeing the community we're building together around the world. All right, let's get into it. Now here's the myth I want to bust right from the start. Most men believe breasts are primarily for visual attraction, that women don't really feel much from breast stimulation. That couldn't be further from the truth. The breast, especially the nipple and areola complex, is densely packed with nerve endings. For some women, that stimulation alone can send waves of arousal throughout the entire body. For others, it's less about the physical sensation and more about the emotional experience of feeling truly held, seen, and desired. And when you learn to approach this with patience, respect, and intentional technique, it's no longer just about touching her chest. It becomes an entire experience, one that can unlock a deeper level of intimacy than most men ever realize is possible. Now, I'm not handing you random magazine advice here. I've worked with thousands of men and couples over the past 12 years. I've seen firsthand the difference between men who rush or fumble and men who slow down, learn to read her signals, and use their hands, their mouth, and their full presence to truly connect. And I can tell you this clearly, women can tell the difference instantly. They feel it in the very first touch. So let's dive into the 9 steps that transform breast touch from an awkward afterthought into a confident, connected, and genuinely pleasurable experience. Tip number 1. Start with consent and curiosity. Nothing is more arousing to a woman than feeling safe and genuinely trusted. Instead of guessing what she likes, simply ask, how do you like your breasts touched? Softer? Firmer? With my hands? My mouth? Are there any areas that are off limits right now? That one relaxed, confident question does something powerful. It lowers her anxiety, builds immediate trust, and gives you a clear roadmap rather than leaving you guessing. You can even agree on a simple traffic light system as you explore together. Green means more, keep going. Yellow means slow down, soften up. Red means stop, change direction. It removes pressure from both of you and replaces it with a sense of playful teamwork. That shift in dynamic alone can transform the entire experience. Tip number 2, slow way down. Start wide. Here is where the majority of men make their biggest mistake. They go straight for the nipples. Too fast, too soon. Instead, start from the outside and work your way in. Warm hands. Broad, deliberate strokes along her upper chest, the sides of her ribcage, and that tender curve where breast tissue meets the torso. Add slow kisses at the collarbone, the neck, and the jawline. The reason this matters so much is rooted in biology. The nervous system does not jump from neutral to ecstasy in 30 seconds. What you're doing in these opening moments is giving her body the time it needs to shift from a guarded state to a fully receptive one. That's when touch stops feeling ticklish or mechanical and starts feeling electric. Pro tip, a small amount of unscented, body-safe lubricant makes skin-on-skin contact glide effortlessly and significantly enhances sensitivity. Tip number 3, hold with intention, not impatience. Most men default to poking or squeezing. Wrong move, and usually not a subtle one. Instead, think cradle, not grip. Use your whole hand to gently support the weight of her breast. Alternate slow, deliberate compressions with moments of stillness. Here's the biology behind why this works. That kind of confident, caring hold sends a clear signal to her nervous system, a signal of safety and genuine desire. Her body relaxes in response. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, rises, and her arousal begins to build organically rather than feeling pressured or performed. Watch her cues closely. Her breathing changes. Soft sounds emerge. She leans into you. That is your green light to continue and slowly intensify. Tip number 4, don't neglect the areola. The areola, the darker pigmented circle surrounding the nipple, is just as sensitive as the nipple itself, and for many women, even more so. Try tracing slow, deliberate circles or gentle spirals that gradually tease inward toward the nipple, but then pull back before you get there. Always support the tissue underneath so nothing feels like it's being stretched or pulled uncomfortably. That interplay of tease and support, approach and withdrawal, can send genuine sparks of sensation through her entire chest and beyond. Patience here is the technique. Tip number 5, dimmer switch, not a light switch. The nipple is a powerful erogenous zone, but it has to be treated with the precision of a dimmer knob, not flipped on like a switch. Begin with feather light contact, barely there strokes. If her response invites more intensity, progress slowly to a gentle roll between thumb and forefinger, or a soft press and release rhythm. Avoid sharp tugs, abrupt pinches, or sudden movements. These sensations are almost always painful rather than pleasurable, regardless of intention. And as with the broader chest, lubrication prevents unnecessary friction on sensitive skin. Build gradually. Always stay attuned to her response. Tip number 6, use your mouth with purpose and patience. If she's open to oral stimulation, and many women very much are, begin with warm breath alone. Let her feel the heat before any contact. Then trace slow, deliberate strokes of your tongue around the areola before approaching the nipple directly. Gentle, steady suction feels deeply pleasurable to most women. Clamp-like suction or anything involving teeth, however, rarely does, unless she has specifically requested it. If you want to experiment with very light grazing contact, practice on your own forearm first so you have a clear, grounded sense of exactly how light your touch needs to remain. Your mouth, used patiently and attentively, can become one of your most powerful tools. Tip number 7, let your words and your breath amplify touch. Touch alone carries significant power, but when you layer in your voice and your breath, the experience deepens in a way that goes beyond the purely physical. Quiet, genuine compliments spoken in a low, calm voice. Short, unhurried check-ins. More like this, softer here, and crucially, matching her breathing. When you exhale slowly and deliberately, it relaxes both of you simultaneously. It signals to her nervous system that this is a safe space, that there is no urgency, no performance anxiety, just presence. And when her nervous system feels safe, arousal is free to expand rather than contract. Tip number 8, pair breast play with what actually gets her over the edge. Here is an important clinical reality that most men have never been told directly. Research and surveys consistently show that the majority of women reach orgasm most reliably through consistent, focused clitoral stimulation. But here's the key finding. When breast play is paired with that stimulation, it can amplify and intensify pleasure dramatically. So keep a hand or your mouth engaged with her breast, while your other hand, or a quality external vibrator, maintains focused attention on external stimulation. And here's a critical principle I always emphasize. Change only one variable at a time. When you change too many things at once, her brain struggles to lock onto any single sensation. Consistency and focus, in combination, are what build toward climax. Tip number 9, temperature and toys, only with an enthusiastic, unambiguous yes. For couples who want to explore further, sensory contrast can be remarkably effective. A cool fingertip tracing across warm skin, a warm breath directed across the nipple. These temperature contrasts heighten sensitivity and bring conscious attention to every nerve ending. If you're considering introducing toys, choose high-quality devices with adjustable settings. Start at the lowest intensity. Keep the initial sessions brief, and remove anything immediately at the first sign of discomfort, numbness, or skin changes. Avoid temperature play and toys entirely in cases involving pregnancy-related breast sensitivity, recent injuries, or any relevant medical conditions. When in doubt, ask your physician. And when in doubt with your partner, ask her. So here is your straightforward, practical action plan. Start with a real conversation. Consent and curiosity aren't formalities, they're the foundation of everything that follows. Go wide first, then slowly close in. Let arousal build at its own pace, rather than forcing it forward. Bring intention, not impatience. Support, cradle, and care for her, rather than performing on her. Read her cues continuously, her breathing, her sounds, the way her body responds and moves. Layer your sensations thoughtfully, hands, mouth, voice, breath, and the pairing of breast, play with what genuinely brings her to climax. And when you're done, don't just roll away. Hold her. Breathe with her. Let everything settle. Many women report that this decompression, this quiet, unhurried stillness afterward, is the most deeply satisfying part of the entire experience. Now I want to say something clearly, man to man. You do not have to be perfect at this. This isn't about memorizing a sequence of fancy tricks or performing a choreographed routine. It's about being genuinely present, paying attention to her rather than to your own performance, and letting her body guide you. Some days she'll be deeply responsive, other days she simply won't be in the mood, and that has nothing to do with you or with your skills. Respect that without question, and she will trust you even more the next time. That trust is what makes the next encounter more open, more free, and more pleasurable for both of you. Gentlemen, this is how you stop treating breast touch as a quick, obligatory step and start turning it into a deeply intimate, genuinely arousing experience that makes her feel safe, desired, and fully alive in your hands. And here's what I've observed in my clinic and in my work with couples over more than a decade. Maturity is an advantage, not a liability. The patience, the confidence, and the self-awareness that come with age give you the ability to do this far better than younger men. You're not rushing, you're not performing, you're present. And presence, more than any technique, is what she actually wants. So start slow, be deliberate, be curious, stay attuned to her. And you won't just give her more physical pleasure, you'll deepen your bond in a way that compounds over time and makes every encounter richer than the last. If this gave you clarity and a sense of direction, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel for more practical men's health content every week, and share it with a friend who could use a little encouragement in this area. And tell me in the comments, which of these 9 tips are you going to try first? I read every comment, and I genuinely want to hear from you. This is Dr. Daniel Morgan reminding you, your best years of intimacy, confidence, and genuine connection are still ahead of you. Stay strong, stay kind, stay present, and I'll see you in the next lesson.